Hey folks, so welcome to the 12th episode of Not Another United podcast. This one's pretty special for many reasons. Firstly, we have Bhuppi back with us. Without him, we're just two random people talking to each other, but with Bhuppi, it feels a little more wholesome. So yeah, we're a bunch of three friends who meet each other every week virtually. That's sad to discuss everything there is to discuss about Manchester United. And lately, we've had a whole lot of positivity. With Bhuppi coming back, this is one thing we hope that does not change. Otherwise, we'll have to do this secretly behind his back without telling him, which won't be very hard, to be fair. But yeah, to start things off, how was this last weekend? And to add fuel to the fire, I'd just like to say, at the start of the match, our win percentage was 13% and our draw percentage was 16. Draw से भी कम rating हमें मिला था and 71% was in Arsenal's favor. So Bhuppi, why don't you start us off with how this last weekend was for you?
Hi guys, lovely to be back. And oh yeah, this was a special weekend. But there are some wins, na, that yeah, chalo yeah, jeet gaye, great. You move on. You try to look forward to the next game. But this one, you would like to sit back, savor this for a bit, थोड़ा absorb करने का मन कर रहा है. And this is one of those games because growing up, Arsenal United was the biggest rivalry for us. Before we actually learned the Derby wala ki who are our bigger rivals. There's something we also learned seeing Vieira and Keane, right? So it's just that generation of fans. And yeah, what a way to win it. What a way for Carrick to sort of announce himself onto the stage. And so the game also 70-30 possession chal raha tha in favor of Arsenal. They were fairly better at the first, probably the first half an hour of the game, but we were so composed. We ensured that we uh, played to our game plan very well. We stuck to our tactics. It was a beautiful performance, and I think we duly deserved the win, especially given the quality of goals we scored.
I think for me, it was the quality of the goals that mattered, especially the second goal and the third goal. I just couldn't believe getting two stunners in one match.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a rare occurrence, and Tushar and I manifested that. I mean, we were discussing this in the last podcast that एक tap in में मिल जाए तो हम खुश हैं, but here we are with two stunners and a great victory just to shut those fans who were comparing their 25-26 team to our best team, and they have lost to one of our worst teams. So I mean, that's the best thing for me. Tushar, what is your take?
And we don't score a lot of stunners anyway. Like those days are gone where these were a little more frequent. And all the really good goals lately, I'm sure 60-70% Bruno only scores it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
is what my muscle memory tells me. But yeah, it was I mean absolutely brilliant. I can't like I kept writing on our channels as well that I can't believe this has happened. And that too 2 weeks in a row. We don't know what to do with so much dopamine, to be honest. मतलब ऐसी feeling एक साथ एकदम से and after such a fall and manager getting changed and stuff, and it's not even a permanent manager hiring, right? That you can credit, let's say, new manager bounce to it. It's literally the same players. Yes, we've got a few players back, but the manner in which we have won these last two games, that is like that has a very heavy impact for me. I mean, it's a very I mean good omen, and of course sample size is too small. But yeah, I mean it makes you question a lot of things as well about the players too, because these are essentially again the same. And I'm sure I can speak for all three of us when I say that you can literally see them working as hard as they've ever done without the
Yeah.
ball. Because I think we discussed in our last podcast as well that uh, that has been one of the biggest changes we see in the last 2 weeks. Also, just from a general goals and assists standpoint, I was glad that this wasn't like a Bruno heavy game, and because we tend to become too dependent on him sometimes. So he just
He
gave one assist. I mean, which
just one assist,
yeah,
just
which yeah, exactly. I mean, it can't even be counted as an assist. I mean, he just gave a regular pass, but it got turned
And
into
this was
something
10th of the season,
greater,
no?
sort
I
of.
think the 10th one.
Yeah,
tenth,
yeah.
yeah, tenth
Yeah.
assist, tenth assist.
So that is, I mean, that fills me up with a lot of hope for what's to come because I know his numbers are going to he's going to keep racking these numbers up. So us winning without our captain having a very, very good performance was
Yeah.
also like a very, very promising thing for us. So who were your star players, Bhuppi, by the way, from this match? Who was your man of the match? Who were the players that stood
So
out
the
for you?
Premier League adjudged Harry Maguire as a man of the match, but if you ask me my honest take, I loved what Casemiro did. Even Shaw, for that matter, nullified the entire. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so even Shaw nullified Saka. So
Tushar, Tushar is being made to eat humble pie. I hope he's
Yeah,
kind enough to acknowledge
if
that.
if only a season was worth 2 matches, I would have definitely said I am wrong, but I still stand by what I did. He's not a Premier League midfielder. चलो
yeah,
आगे
but
बोलो.
हाँ मेरे
Anyway,
को लगा
ठीक
कि
है.
he definitely had beautiful game through and through. I mean, up on paper you look at their midfield. You have a Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, probably one of the best in the Premier League, right? And unke against to hold your own, to potentially dominate, keep the ball well. I think Mainoo and Casemiro played a beautiful game collectively. बहुत बढ़िया game था altogether. In fact, even Casemiro kept dropping back so well at multiple occasions that gave Maguire the freedom to attack, Martinez the freedom to attack. So for me, it was very close call. A lot of our players had a great game. Even Dalo, for his standards, had a far better game. But yeah, probably Casemiro.
You with your dollar agenda and Tushar with his
Who
Casemiro
do you think
agenda.
was?
तुम लोग पॉजिटिविटी के
नहीं,
नाम पे.
it's not about पूरे
So for me,
सीजन का है ना.
yeah. So for me, it is that would be Casemiro and Maguire. Maguire for the second match in a row. I think the way he handled the crosses, the way he handled the corners, the way the entire team handled the corners, I think commendable. Lemons also had a great game. I don't think his point blank range save is getting
Definitely.
is being spoken in the same regard that it should be. But I think if in that save he was coming towards the ball and he had to adjust in a split second and then make the save. So it was a brilliant save. And then that low save towards the bottom left when Saka took a random shot. So I think yeah, these were the star players for me. But special shout out to Dorgu, who I mean,
Hmm.
irrespective of the goal, also put a 200% wala shift. I think
Do you
commendable.
know his nickname? Do you
So
know his
your Tushar,
nickname
And I
now?
hope
Even
Bellin
Dorgu.
Dorgu.
I mean, that's just a banter thing. Bruno also is.
but I really hope it was just cramps and not a hamstring injury. I know we'll get to know soon enough, but yeah, when he came off the pitch, Carrick has also spoken about it that he also is hoping that it is just cramps, and rightly so. But yeah, because we'll miss him all of a sudden if he's not there. So
Yeah.
frankly, at my end, I don't have any.
Casemiro.
I don't,
Casemiro. Come on,
I
Tushar.
don't, I
Casemiro.
don't I don't have any man of the match. And I remember I said the same thing in a very
Very
different
Mike.
mood, in a very different mood, when we had drawn the game against Forest, saying that nobody deserves to be man of the match. But this one's, I feel everyone is the man of the match for me, and I can say that 2 matches running. And I have not felt this feeling very regularly, right? Like where you pinpoint and say, yeah, he's the one who drove us to victory. I actually feel everybody's putting in a bloody shift. And Lamens, of course, with whatever little he's having to do, he's acing that 10 out of 10. And yeah, like I can't really say that it was because of one person, because of the off the ball runs, the tackles that you see, the falling back, defending as a team, the celebrations, how it feels like a very good close unit. The celebrations post match as well. And there are these little things that you keep seeing on the pitch here and there where somebody's calling somebody out. And so yeah, I mean I can't say that I have a man of the match, but of course I one thing I noticed that with Mbumo coming back, our uh, finishing percentage has improved significantly. Like basically even on our worst day we would land on a 6 out of 10 is what I feel with Mbumo and even Ahmad coming back for that matter and Bruno playing
So
a
so
little
so
further ahead.
did you guys notice that chance wherein Mbumo had a chance to take a shot?
Yeah,
I think that was a wrong decision on Mbumo's part. I think
yeah,
that's what
definitely.
it looked like to me.
Yeah.
I think he could have
He
taken
was
a
under
shot.
pressure,
He
Should
so
have.
wasn't too
it was
too
not
dis
that straightforward.
he wasn't the positioning. No, no, the positioning. Maybe the goalkeeper was positioned more accurately than say against City, where Donnarumma, gave him the option to shoot in that direction. But the positioning of the ball wasn't too dissimilar to the same place where he scored the goal against
I think we are
City
being too
from.
hard here. This position
Yeah,
was
like it would have taken like a blinder of a shot for it to go inside maybe top bins, but otherwise it would have been parried only. Like, and we didn't have anybody following up to for it to create into another half chance or something. But yeah, he should have taken a shot, but that's also fine. But what if we had somebody running in and it would have made it into like a one-on-one, and we would have praised Mboma then
So,
for his
so Tushar,
unselfishness.
I'll ask this question to you. The finish that Mbumo did, right? That mistake from Zubimendi, was it an easy finish or in that scenario? Was it
Hmm.
an easy finish or was it par for the course for a player of his caliber?
So when you're confident, it's one of the easiest finishes in the world. But when you're not confident, it's one of the toughest to score, and you're sort of fretting as well for it to come to you. Like for example, I would say Sheshko a few matches ago. I wouldn't feel very confident this ball landing up at his feet, and I myself have been in that situation many times. You want to score or be put into tougher positions to score so that there's not a lot of thinking involved. You don't need, it's all intuitive because when you're already short on confidence, you second guess yourself. You think of four, five, six, seven different things. You think if it is on your right foot or not, or left foot or not. But when you're confident, it's one of the easiest things, like just dropping the shoulder and giving a feint to the keeper. I mean, that was my classic finish as well. I used to use that very often. But yeah, and once you do that, the rest of the part is pretty much easy, but it's easier than it looks. Like I said, it's a very subjective thing, is what I'll say. So yeah, in terms of we were talking about man of the match, but I would like to applaud Cunha. Two matches in a row, his impact has been undeniable. Suddenly, we feel like we have a Premier League standard bench after so long, where we have Mount, Cunha, Sheshko, Ugarte, Heaven, who could come off the bench, and even Xerxes when he's fit. But like Cunha's impact, two matches in a row has been immense, and I would say he's unlucky not to start. And they were less than, by the way, 3 minutes from when Arsenal scored their second, and we scored our winner. And Sheshko also had a very big role to play because
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
ball would have gone to anybody else, वो goal नहीं होता. And like, of course, Carrick is spot on with his changes again. He could have very easily went ahead with the defender when Dorgu uh, had to be subbed off, but he chose Sheshko for it, and it was him holding up the ball which led to the eventual goal. So yeah, credits to Cunha, Sheshko,
there was
Carrick.
a lot of positivity through and through. अगर आप देखो ना, like on any other day, maybe under Amorim, we would have been happy taking a draw, right? Any and the way Arsenal have had their entire season, this is the first game they've lost in the at home, and it's to us. So,
Yeah.
any other situation, we would have been happy. Chalo, defender bheja, I'm just trying to preserve your lead, which is okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It is a way of,
I
yeah,
would have been, even at 2-2, I would have been happy taking a draw, to be
yeah.
honest.
It would have been
and
a
such
brilliant result.
positive,
Because at 2-2, you
yeah.
fear for a 3-2, a 3-2 reverse, right? But yeah, kudos to the management for making positive subs, and for those subs to make an impact. So you mentioned Cunha's goal. Which goal was better in your opinion, Cunha or Dorgo? You don't want to make that comparison. That's also absolutely fine.
Was definitely much more difficult, and that's my opinion. And I have two main reasons. One is the difficulty rating of that shot.
Whose was difficult? Dorgu's.
Dorgu's was much more difficult. The first reason is the difficulty rating of that particular shot, and the second is the ball and player position. So when I say difficulty rating, so Cunha, when he's scoring, he does not have a lot of players around him. He has the luxury of clean, free air, and Gabriel is making his job a little easier with him becoming the shield in terms of his vision and the keeper's vision, right? And also I'd say we've seen Cunha try this shot so many times this season already. Sometimes he's hit the post. One time he scored against Brighton, and now we see him scoring this particular shot. But Dorgu, the difficulty rating. So the ball is, by the way, almost in the middle of the goal, and it's not as if he has like too much to do in terms of how he can pivot his body and take a shot. It's all very central and straight. Ball was literally in front of him. Like usually what happens is when you have a volley, which is let's say on towards your right, you shoot cross the goal, right? Or maybe you shoot towards the near post as well. Both options are viable. But this time literally he had to hit the ball from the front of the laces. And of course he hit it in a way that it curved as well slightly. And there was no other position he could hit it when for it to be a goal. Like either top bins hota or it would have hit the post and went in. There was no other way. And I think 9 out of 10 times, maybe I'm being very gracious, maybe 49 out of 50 times he's missing that shot. But
Yeah, yeah. I think
Cunha would
yeah,
easily
yeah.
score that goal 10, 12, 13 times at least out of 50. This is a standard practice finish that you practice, but that was my take. So,
Yeah, I
If
second
we
what Tushar
yeah.
is saying. The half volley was far more difficult. बहुत. Also, it didn't. So Bruno's pass wasn't the best one to him. It was a little dicey, and for him to take that shot with so many bodies in and around him, it was a tremendous effort, especially against a keeper who won the Golden Glove last year. And Raya is one of the top three keepers right now. Credit where it's due. It was a beautiful, beautiful finish. And with Cunha, you expect those kind of shots. Thoda room doge, he's going to try and take that shot. It wasn't an easy finish, but I think between the two, just because of the player who took that shot, the pass that came to him, and the probably the number of bodies that were around him, I think Dorgu. What do you think, sir?
So so I think obviously I think Dorgu's is the more difficult shot, but don't take away the pressure that Cunha was under when he took that shot. But I would say this: both the shots looked goal the moment they left the respective foot foots of the players. They look. I mean, especially Cunha's shot, it looked like a goal from the get go. I mean, in post match analysis, Owen said that the the instance when Cunha came inside and he ran towards the goal and he was ready for a shot, Michael Owens shouted goal, and because he could see that the ball is that is that pointed and sharp towards the goal. But I think in terms of pure technical difficulty, I think Dorgu's goal is I think our goal of the season competition is done for.
I have a
So
question for you
yeah.
guys.
Michael Owen, Michael Owen knows fuck all anyway, so we can move on from.
यार मतलब बैलन डॉर विनर है तो उसको गोल का तो
I
पता ही
mean, he
होगा.
was a
So
serial goal
let's give
scorer.
him that credit.
But anyway, I had a question for you guys. Do you think under Amorim we would have won this game, or maybe the situation that we were in? Very dicey,
हाँ.
but take your time.
यार to be honest, कहना कहना मुश्किल है यार. मतलब obviously we are more we play a more progressive brand of football now. We play दो ही matches हुए हैं. But even अगर फ्लेचर का भी include कर लें, basically move away from 3-4-3 has made us more pleasing to the eye, has made us more players seem to be more at ease in this formation जब वो 3-4-3 में नहीं थे. And by that logic, यहाँ पर जीतने के chances, because players are familiar with their roles and their expectations, our defense looks far more solid in 4-2-3-1 than it ever did in 3-4-3. So in matches of this stature, I think your defense plays a tremendous role, and therefore against same team with Amorim as the coach, we probably wouldn't have won the match, or even at 2-2 we wouldn't have gone for the win. Let me put it that.
Yeah, we would have had an Ugarte instead of Mainoo.
Tushar,
Tushar.
I think
But yeah, what do you think, Tushar?
exactly. I was
Yeah,
about to say that only that we may not lose, but I don't think we would have won because our bench used to be shit. And of course, he would play Cunha from the start anyway. So Cunha is not coming off the bench to make an impact now, right? If he's already starting, and that's been one of the so against City, we were already 1-0 up, but they could have scored one goal, right? Any team can do that at any moment in time.
yeah,
And under Amorim, we had so many such cases where we are battering the other, we are peppering the opposition, but we are not able to score enough, and we don't have a level up on our bench in terms of an attacking
right.
standpoint anyway, which is a very, very, very big factor, which has proven to be so. And even in the last game, Cunha should have had two assists because Mounts was also a goal, right? And that's not a small thing at all. And now he scored the winner. So I don't think we would have won. Maybe we would have drawn. So by the way, some ominous insights heading into this match against Arsenal, which were not making me breathe a whole lot easier. So I think we were saying that even a draw would have helped us, but only two teams have got a result against Emirates this season. And to top that off, United only has three away wins in the entire bloody season, given the fact that we've played some shitty teams as well, which is surprising. And again, stemming from that, United has more points against top half teams than against the teams in the bottom half. And the last one, 24 times Arsenal have scored first. They have won all 24 times. 25th time they scored first, but we bloody beat them. We beat the Gunners. So, and of course, we've broken a lot of records this past particular weekend. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't even, especially when Arsenal equalized, right? I was not feeling as confident. I was like, okay, it's a home match. They're going to again have an ugly victory or even an ugly draw, which they don't deserve because they're not doing shit in the entire game, and they'll end up sort of crowding laments and scoring another shitty, scrappy goal.
And that's exactly what happened, right, for the
Yeah.
second goal. I mean, on that note, I mean, no disrespect to the I'm assuming eventual champions, but their dependence on set pieces is mind blowing. I don't remember a team, an elite team, right? And they are definitely an elite team, right? Mm, by all parameters, but their dependence on set pieces is unhealthy. I mean, for them it is unhealthy because eventually teams will figure it
Yeah.
out, right? In a season or two. But I mean, it is bonkers the number of goals that they score from set pieces. And I read a stat that 40% they in terms of their XGs, only 40% of that XG comes from non set piece goals, which means that close to about 55-60% XG comes from set piece goals. I mean, while on one hand, it is commendable the threat that they carry every time they get a corner, it is like an attack for them. But on the other hand, you know, you are over relying on corner, which makes for a drab view. And I think their fans call it haram ball. Bhupinder highlighted it. So, is it just me who feels that way, or is it the common consensus among the three
Yeah.
of us?
See, there is obviously facet to it. Even their own fans will get tired of some part of their football, but we are forgetting that they're still active and alive in all four competitions that they are in. They are in the final of League Cup. They will definitely win a trophy for sure. That's my take because they have way too much good depth in terms of a Premier League team. They have a solid team overall, right? Even their reserves can actually give you a great fight. That is the truth. You have Kepa for a reserve keeper. We were struggling with Onana. A lot of things. Anyway, uh, I think they'll still win a lot of things. They are ahead in the UCL group stage by a mile. So again, Premier League right now they have a decent lead given their stage of where they are at. कुछ भी हो सकता है. I think they'll still win the league, but yeah, it is a cause of for concern. They are not scoring open play say काफी goals. I think that will eventually be something that they will have to work towards. Otherwise, it's expected where they lose the title.
So I think I touched upon a few ominous stats, but it's time for some positivity here. In fact, we've just beaten two of the best teams in the league, so why not? United were one of the only two teams that has not scored from a substitute this entire Premier League season, and we've broken that off as well, thankfully through Matheus Cunha. And I also wanted to ask you one particular thing. Who do you think has scored the most number of goals from outside of the box since the start of 24-25 Premier
Yeah,
League
7 goals.
season?
It Kun Cunha 7 goals.
Who comes
Bruno
in
second,
second?
Bruno.
Who
I
comes
guess.
in
Bruno,
second and third?
Bruno.
How about third?
Tricky. I'm taking a wild guess. I don't know if this is right. Sid, you have some. Hmm.
Ahmad नहीं Ahmad तो नहीं होगा.
By the way, all of Premier League, not
So
United.
my third one was a United
हाँ no
fan
I
but
know
plays for Chelsea. Palmer.
Cole
I
Palmer.
mean, that's just my guess. I don't know.
Third Declan नहीं.
So, by
I
the way, the player who says that his celebration was the original one and not
Rogers.
Palmer's.
Rogers
Yeah,
Rogers. Okay.
yeah, and the player who we missed out on, Semenyo. So Rogers, Semenyo, and Callum Hudson-Odoi all are tied on three. मतलब
हाँ
third position with 5 goals.
Do you know this was
Oh,
so
interesting.
Carrick was the first manager to win at Emirates, first United manager to win at Emirates since who? There's a question for the two of you actually.
Jose Mourinho, man. मतलब Millie Rock, Jesse Lingard, black
Yes,
jersey,
yes,
Pogba,
yes,
Lukaku.
yes, yes.
No,
2017,
I think
2017.
no, no. The question should be reframed as in Premier League because
Ah,
Ole won in FA Cup. So,
So I was considering
yeah.
Premier League only.
uh,
But yeah, what was so damning for me was that United have finished in the top four of a Premier League weekend for the first time since May 2023. It's
क्या
almost
बोल रहा है?
it's almost been 3 years finishing in the top four at the end of a Premier League weekend.
नहीं भाई इस सीजन की
Yes,
स्टार्टिंग में इस सीजन की स्टार्टिंग
I
में
think
वी वर
it's this
थर्ड वी वर
stage of the
creeping
season,
after
Sid.
third.
But yeah, it has been a while.
of course you can't consider first or second match anyway, right? But yeah,
No,
this
no, I'm not
was
saying first and second match. After 7 or 8 matches, when we won 3 matches in a row, I think we had
if this is
started
wrong,
to
then
sort of.
Sky Sports is wrong, not me, because ये match में बोला
It's
गया
it's
था
a
post match.
it's a surprising stat. Go
That
goes to show how कितना अभी
the
काम
last time
करना बाकी है
we
to
won
rise
two
up the
Premier
ranks.
League games back to back was in October. Sid, you went on mute.
So by the way, stemming from this and moving on to the next one, does this win mean so much more than the win against City, or would you categorize it as just the same?
I think I let Bhupinder go first because he's surrounded with Arsenal fans. So Bhupi,
And I
why
think
don't you take this up?
with against City, we dominated the game far more. Against Arsenal, I felt the challenge was tougher. Honestly, it felt like you're playing someone who knows their shit, and it shows the dominance across whatever competition they've been in. So for me, from that perspective, it was a far more important win. It gave us continuity, and it also emphasized our strength from the bench. So Abhi, it is, the question is back on Carrick. Will Cunha start? It's an interesting choice, which we'll come to later on this podcast as well.
That's a
It's a good
good
problem
problem
to
to
have,
have. That's a
exactly,
good
right?
problem to have
So,
in the long
and
run.
the best part
Yeah.
was in this game, we went behind. We had a lot of pressure on us. And from there, on a ground where we have struggled in recent times to come back and eventually win, keep our composure, I felt this was far more telling. It was more important, more difficult. What do you think, Tushar?
So, like I mean, it's not. I feel fair to compare, but there are some things which I can't like sort of hide away from. So I did not know this, but Arsenal have conceded 3 goals in any competition for the first time in 122 matches. And I think I can speak for the three of us. I think they've been amongst the best defense in the world, easily, arguably the best defense in the world, perhaps, and definitely they have the best Saliba Gabriel partnership anyway, right? And 3 goals is not a shoddy feat at all. This wasn't like a plagued Arsenal team which has tons and tons of injuries and they are not on form at all. To top that off, they've lost the first time since last May 2023 at home, which was against Bournemouth. And for the first time since October 2008, an away team has scored 2+ goals from outside of the box against Arsenal in the Premier League. I know, even a tap in would have counted the same, but this makes it a whole lot sweeter.
Tushar sure has done his homework.
मैं लेट क्यों ज्वाइन करता हूँ पॉडकास्ट
No, I think absolutely. I think personally for me, this win means more than the City one because we have on occasions in the past defeated City convincingly, right? But Arsenal away, not I mean Arsenal in the last 3 4 years has been a bogey team, if I may call them a bogey team for us
We
in the
have too
sense.
many
Many.
bogey teams right now.
एक नहीं है.
No, I mean, so our they have been frustratingly good against us in the last few years, and especially beating a team which is so well drilled out of position, right? It means that you're doing something right tactically as well. I mean, we did we we so we did defeat City as well, and we outclassed them tactically as well. But doing that to Arsenal means a whole lot more, and also especially the fact that the entire chatter that I mentioned in the at the start of the podcast of our elite team against this team, that did my head right in, and it just feels good to shut their mouth, at least for a little while. When I say they, I mean the annoying fans that they have. I think we can all unanimously agree that their fans are the most annoying fans that we have.
So that was a theater. I think it's a good time to probably move on to the red zone. And starting with a question which definitely a lot of United fans will get carried away from is is Carrick going to be at the wheel? Are you pro it? Are you for it? Against it? Or do you think he's at least going to be in the consideration, making it hard for the eventual decision makers कि भाई इसको तो consider करना पड़ सकता है. What do you think, Sid? I think let's start from you now.
I think I think it's still too early to, put him in the consideration set, but I think if he continues this form and continues winning against the lesser teams. When I say the lesser teams, I mean the mid-table teams, the likes of your Fulham, Tottenham, so to say. Then he should definitely at least be interviewed for the permanent manager role, because uh, we have whatever we say about Solskjaer, right? I mean, we played the best football in the last 10, 15 years under him. Our best finishes have come under him. So that was it. In hindsight, that stint was not a bad stint. That stint was not a failure by any parameter. So, and Carrick has better infrastructure, better leadership, better players at his disposal. So, I hope he gets the job, but I think right now it's too early to put him in any sort of consideration list.
And whatever we may say about Ruben, but he has done a lot of the grunt work for Carrick in a way.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
from 15th to where we are right now, I'm sure it may go unseen, but we know what had happened, right? Like from
yeah.
the dire times of fighting almost bloody relegation to sitting at fifth, sixth, and we had equal points from the one team who was and top of it. He's done a lot of good stable work. He's restored a lot of good faith, good feelings in the club. He's gotten rid of a lot of bad eggs as well. So
That's the most important thing, I think,
yeah,
getting rid of the bad eggs. Yeah, and we had
and
so
the,
many, so
and
many.
the
We had so
team
many.
feels so much more unified.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, my answer would be it's too premature to talk about a permanent position for sure.
I completely agree.
So,
And,
Puppy, your take?
Sid, one of the points that you touched upon is very interesting, very important also. Uh, See, United in the last few years, historically have it's very clear that we will play on the counter attack against most of the big six teams. But it is against the teams that play the low block against us. What is it that we do? वहाँ पे we have struggled. यहाँ पे we won the mid block. We played beautiful football. We controlled the midfield very well. And that is where we won the game against Arsenal. But can we do this against teams that would like to sit back? That is where we have still not answered that question under Amarim. Yes, the signings were far better this time around. They were so much better. It's a better starting point to have right now versus maybe if we had the same players at the start of the season for Carrick. So, उस angle से great point for Carrick to come into the picture. But again, yeah, how we play against these lower teams will probably decide whether he should be in the consideration or not. And yeah, so talking about Fulham, yeah,
So,
sorry.
Just one little thing, by the way, which I'll say is ki if the next manager has to be Carrick, the one big major plus would be that we could plan our transfers so much sooner
yeah,
than
yeah,
if and when
true.
we get a new person in, because it's the World Cup season. Players and agents are going to be high on cocaine anyway all the time, and
ये हमको
you know
मालूम
that
Go,
रहेगा.
Kobbie,
yeah,
go.
and you know that planning takes long.
Just
And
for this, you have reduced our reach, Tushar. 18 plus डालना पड़ेगा अभी हमें. Just for your stupid cocaine comment.
apologies to the five listeners who tune in duly. Out of which three of us are also sitting in the room. So जो भी दो नए लोग हैं, apologies for that. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to also ask very quickly, what would you say is the top reason why we have beaten City and now we have beaten Arsenal in our last two matches?
So I think I'll go first, and I was intending to add this in the previous question. I think the main difference between the two wins is they're not similar tactically, and that gives me joy. Gives me hope that
Hard on.
ha, नहीं मुझे टैक्टिक्स से हार्ड ऑन नहीं होता बट या hope that if Carrick becomes a permanent manager, he can do justice to the role. So against City, we dominated them in a different manner, but against Arsenal, we did not dominate Arsenal. But we were composed, we were solid off the possession, and we
But how many clear-cut chances did we concede? Maybe just one?
exactly. So defensively, we have been very resolute, and so I think uh, in that sense, sorry, तेरा question क्या था? मैं भूल ही गया तेरा
Like, what
question.
was the top reason why you feel we have had this upturn of beating two of the heaviest or toughest teams in the Premier League?
I think mental resilience, just that breath of fresh air, and also change in formation. I think those are the three main reasons.
अच्छा मैंने एक ही मांगा था वैसे but no worries. Puppy,
It
how
is the
about you?
formation. I think the double pivot has played far better for us now. Because Casemiro and Kobbie sitting in midfield, falling back, playing like an added defender also helped a lot. If you look at the way we played against Arsenal, Saka was nullified by two people. So Dorgu played like an added left wing back. There was also Shaw with him. So the way we sort of doubled down across positions at multiple places, and especially that press, na, matlab even Mbomo wouldn't get that chance had we not pressed at the right time. So that and essentially the double pivot and the way we are pressing at zones, that is where we have sort of changed our game a little. That is what helped us against Arsenal immensely. And with City, it was just ruthless pace that we sort of worked on. And yeah, uh, sort of agree with.
I'll say our like off the ball work and tenacity is one major difference I see, which is in the last two matches. But against Arsenal, I feel the only reason we have won is because of our black jersey. And what I would give to for us to wear this jersey every single bloody match, इसको home jersey बनाओ, इसको away jersey भी बनाओ और हर match में
Black
पहनो.
magic.
Black में हमेशा जीते हैं. All the great goals that you scored is in black.
So
So
by the way, one thing which made me nervous, and I hope this is not true, is the potential ban of Cunha.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
hear
yeah,
about it?
yeah.
And Rooney was the last player, I think, I mean United player to get this ban. Back against West Ham, he had a two-match ban because
I
technically
remember
you're
that.
not supposed to
Swear on
abuse,
the camera.
and he did that after scoring the goal. He said it's the fucking biggest, right down the camera lens. And even the commentator Peter Drury had apologized live on air. So I mean, fingers crossed, but I hope ऐसा ना हो.
वैसे वैसे दो ऑन दैट दो इंस्टेंसेस थे मैच में जहां मुझे लगा था कि यार ये हमारे अगेंस्ट जा सकता है. एक था मैगवायर
And
का हैंडबॉल आई हैव सीन दोस गिवन. एंड दूसरा था डोरगू का हैंडबॉल. मतलब इट वाज अ
yeah,
50
yeah.
50 एंड दे थैंक गॉड कॉमन सेंस प्रिवेल्ड एंड उन्होंने ऑन फील्ड डिसीजन रखा बट ये दोनों डिसीजंस
नहीं
हमारे
यार.
अगेंस्ट जा सकते थे. इन एनी अदर.
I mean, if the on-field referee gives it, then it is dicey. But if it goes to VR, point one, दूसरा Dorgu का was clearly inconclusive, so that would have stood. Maguire ka, it is a he didn't wave his hand way too beyond his body. Na? It was very natural. So had it been given, that would have been the most stupid decision.
But
Yeah, yeah,
we have seen those
But
yeah,
given
these
in
yeah.
the
are
That I
past.
agree with you.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
next thing I wanted to share something with you. I'm not sure if you gotten a chance to check that out. But Arsene Wenger's post-match
Yeah,
comments
yeah.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
we beat his lovely beloved team, it filled my heart with so much joy because of course I would like to think that he's one of the most sound managers and footballing brains to have ever existed. So
You should read about his ideas. He'll come across as a cuckoo to you, but that's for different podcast. We'll do a different podcast, but continue.
Professor.
moving on to the wastage of time you just did, but so Arsene Wenger
और
said
ये
that
हाँ ठीक है.
I think there is something going on at Manchester United. The way both teams scored their goals illustrated how they played, with Arsenal focusing more on power and fighting set pieces. It wasn't clean play, but United's goal signaled good build-up play, it signaled technical cohesion. The way they beat City and Arsenal was very convincing, and I want to congratulate Carrick. He is creating something.
I haven't seen Tushar smile this from pillar to post in 10 years now, I think.
Yeah.
maybe.
And
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 I think even
this includes his marriage as well, by the way.
I mean, that
yeah, I've been married for 7 years now. So by the way, even Rio Ferdinand came up with something, and I felt it was pretty accurate. He said that Arsenal should be glad that the rest of the league is shit and inconsistent.
Yeah, yeah, I
Is
agree. I agree.
is why
Uh,
they are just 4 points away now. But when I found that to be absolutely true, and this is
yeah.
perhaps the most inconsistent season I've ever seen.
So also, since you are throwing facts as us, now you know in 95, 96 when it became a 96, 97 when it became a 38 game wala season. At this point in time, we were 12 points off Newcastle, and you know who went on to win the title that year? Glory, glory, Man United. So you never know. I
Acha,
mean,
I was about to
so
say Chelsea, but
Chelsea 96, 97.
अरे
joke.
वैसे ही यार randomly.
So 12 points a gap hai. Can we do the impossible, boys? I mean, just kidding.
न-
No,
धरती में
नहीं
आजा
वाला,
सेठ
but I
प्लीज वापस.
सबसे पहले वो win the league and Carrick को तब भी position नहीं मिली manager की.
The
Which can easily happen. I mean, Carrick वाली चीज can easily happen.
You may wanna bring the mic closer to your face.
So I think I'd like to end this section with I know Sid, you're a big opponent of this. You keep saying how the eyes of the media are always upon United, unlike any other club. And in the post-match show, they I think showcased a few of Arsenal's attacking stats, and I was like, why the hell are we not talking about this at all? So I'm now Arsenal sitting at the top of the league, arguably one of the best teams in the world right now. Their top scorer in the PL is Gyökeres and Trossard with 5 goals. The second top scorer are own goals.
4 goals. Yeah, 4 on goals.
Ah, it,
And Eze, Declan Rice, Saka, they're all sharing the second position with own goals. Saka has 0 goals in the last 13 all competitions. Gyökeres has 0 non-penalty goals in the last 11 Premier League matches. Martinelli has 0 goals in the last 13 PL games. Madueke, their star signing, has 0 goals in the last 25 Premier League matches. And Trossard, who I absolutely love him by the way, has just 1 goal in the last 11
but they're still the
matches,
second
all
highest goal
competitions.
scorer, second highest goal scorer in the league, no?
Yeah, I mean, you could applaud them, of course, but
How many
it does
goals?
not.
How many goals have we scored?
I think we're the second highest goal scorers, right?
I'm asking that question because I want to present a stat. I think we have scored
We have scored 41.
41 goals. So
Arsenal
there's a
42, City 47.
so there's a stat that says that scoring 70 goals, irrespective of how many goals you concede, guarantees practically guarantees top four finish. So we are at 41. We have what? I mean, 16 matches to go, 15 matches to go, 29 goals in 15 matches,
Yeah,
essentially.
but
That's the
if
calculation I
you're an
can
Arsenal
look at
fan
that.
now,
But we will be good with fifth as well, na?
Yeah, I'm saying 70 goals practically guarantees fourth position by historical
sorry,
trends.
just one point there.
So
See, if you're an Arsenal fan now, that's also a positive thing. कि मतलब despite
the
हाँ
goals are
मतलब
distributed
एक तो पॉइंट ये है कि गोल्स आर
positive.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड दूसरा ये है कि व्हेन योर प्लेयर्स प्रॉब्ली क्लिक एंड इट्स ओके इफ दे क्लिक इवन अगेंस्ट स्मॉलर टीम्स राइट नाउ दैट विल हेल्प देम गेट द पॉइंट्स. Yes, it might be a little scruffy to potentially win the league from here and the way they would win it, but I think I'll still take solace in it कि यार ठीक है most of my players might click now. I'm okay with it. I don't know. Uh,
But
See,
again, my
so
point was that the media does not talk about it at all, or maybe we don't get
yeah,
to hear it.
because they are the darlings of the media, right now. Because I mean, for the first time in I don't know how many years, a team has legit claim, a team other than Liverpool or City has legit claim to win the title, and it's a team built on good squad planning, with a coach which is liked by the media and Arteta. Had it been United, it would have been spoken, you know, for days on at length. But just because it's Arsenal and they're the top of the league, no one is shedding a light on this. But Arsenal is yet to play
yeah.
City, right? As part of their fixture list, or have they played
एक गेम है.
City already? हाँ. So एक game है, right? I mean, इसका it could be a 1 point.
Yeah,
I mean, we have seen City go on these runs in the past, a 15, 16 match winning run, right?
It doesn't
And
seem
who's
like that though this time.
and I know who, and who's to say they can't go, right? But Arsenal also doesn't seem to like winning every match,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, it is not guaranteed that they will run away with the title. I mean, this match against United has guaranteed that it will go down the wire. It should go
See,
down the
in
till the
if you
absolute
look at the
last
last
few
five games
minutes.
alone, now City has earned 6 points. Arsenal has earned 8 points. United has earned six in the last 4 games. But the point is,
We हम late click
uh,
कर रहे हैं.
I mean, anyway, just sort of moving ahead from the two wins that we had. I think we've sort of absorbed it way too much. What do you think about the next game? Because one of the most important things I feel right now, which we've touched upon earlier, was to win against teams like Fulham, and they're also on a great run, by the way. So, do you think maybe winning from there would help us in our pursuit for top four or top five? Because end of the day, can we sort of make it there? That's something we should, I feel, discuss. What do you think, Tushar?
So I remember maybe this was some interview with Sir Alex Ferguson, and he used to always say that the game after an important victory is always the most important. For me. Of course, managers generally tend to always say that the next game is important, the next game is important. But I remember like what you do after let's say a mammoth Champions League victory midweek, and then you come to the Premier League, and then how you perform when you're let's say not at your best, you're not the freshest. It dictates so much more than just 3 points. So just stemming from that logic, I feel this is going to be an absolutely crucial game. We are not. We would. This would be first game that Carrick's entering expected to win, right? We're not the underdog anymore. We're playing at home. So I'm very, very excited to see what we cough up, and it will tell me a lot about how we will be moving forward as well. How about you, Sid?
I think you summed it up perfectly. I think this is the first match in the expected to win territory for Carrick, and it will be interesting to see how he sets up the team. I think if he continues to ride the wave of momentum and get this win also under the belt, then it would set him up for the next run of matches, which are all winnable by the way, because all the teams are struggling. Now, moving on that note, we are fourth in the table, and I remember the two of you laughing at me, calling me delusional and all sorts of things,
Yeah, I
right?
never said that.
ये ऑन रिकॉर्ड है, पोस्ट पे है, जाके देख सकते हो, कमेंट भी डाला हुआ है
I've,
तूने. You have doubled
the,
down on your
the
delusion.
delusion was for the number of
I've,
points
I've,
and the conviction
Letting
conviction
that
of
pass. Oh,
third.
please, please, let me complete, please. So, would you like to revise your takes and now take a guess at where United would finish come the end of the season?
so I've been your good friend for 20 plus years now. The delusion bit still stays intact, by the way. And I mean, yes, I would like to revise my take of seventh or eighth is what I mentioned last time around to fifth. I mean, and if that permits us in the Champions League, of course, nothing like it. Um, Although a part of me still says that next season Europa League might do us better in terms of progression, because I wouldn't want for us to not go further in the Champions League and end up playing only a few matches, and then I would rather see us having a deep run in the Europa League, but I can be, of course, completely wrong as well.
So my prediction was
Okay, yeah.
sixth. And also, if you look at the table right now, we are fourth, and the two teams that are behind us are Chelsea and Liverpool. At best, I see us finishing fifth because now we don't have any other competition. There's all focus on the Prem.
At
I mean,
at
not
best,
at
at best, you
best.
still
I'm
finish
trying
in
to be
fifth.
realistic here because there are instances where, a lot of times we have had fades of form. We could lose a few games and we shouldn't be bogged down about it. Oh, hoga hi hoga. It's part of the season, right? We are right now riding a very high wave. Usme, just talking on that perspective would not be right. I think fifth is something I would like to be conservative, and that would make me very happy because end of the day, it's getting us back to the Champions League. And fifth is something we have to bare minimum aim for, given that we are not in any other competition. I'm very practical about this from that lens. I was thinking of sixth. Abhi, I'm assuming fifth because one, we also are playing with players who went starting pele, a lot of tactical changes. Dekha hai. There is this more strength from the bench. We have a full team right now. So from all of those viewpoints, I think fifth.
So सो आई थिंक तुम लोगों का पास इतना भयंकर पीटीएसडी है कि तुम अपने आप को एक लेवल के बियॉन्ड ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होने ही नहीं देना चाहते हो बट आई थिंक आई वुड स्टिक विद फोर्थ
वो तो
एंड
थर्ड
लेट्स
बोल
सी
रहा
वेयर
था
वी एंड
विद
अप
81
कम द
पॉइंट्स
एंड ऑफ द
या कुछ तो।
सीजन 81 नहीं 73
74
बोला था
74
75 बोला था
75
70
ये।
आई
74
आई एम
75 बोला था
श्योर ये
and we can still reach that target. I will revise my calculation on our group and हम पहुंच सकते हैं अभी भी but anyways I think we will finish at fourth because we don't have any midweek fixture and we can see that it's helping us in this run. So
So
on that note, yeah,
very
go on.
quickly, because I like what is your take on our new signing? What is your take on Casemiro and Mainoo's partnership in the midfield all of a sudden? Because it's as if ये exist ही नहीं करता था ये option, and suddenly somebody is risen from
what
the
was your first part of the
academy
question?
20 years later.
New
Uh,
signing Kobbie Mainoo.
What do you think, Sid?
I think see he'll be the biggest enigma of Amarim's reign as to why didn't Kobe Minu feature as much as he should have. And two matches into the reign, we can see the difference that he brings to the midfield, the sheer composure. Small thing, the small pass for Cunha's goal, the assist for Cunha's goal, a delicate touch, but just the right amount of pace and power to cushion it for Cunha to take it forward. I think uh, Casemiro Mino has a good balance, better balance than Bruno and Casemiro because you know Bruno would venture forward and desert the midfield, creating a big
and
donut shape.
and it is allowing Bruno to play where he
Yeah,
wants
he
to play,
should
like
play.
much closer to the goal.
Yeah,
Number 10.
exactly. So I think you rightly put it. He feels like a new signing. I know it's a very cliched statement, but it does feel that way. And I think Casemiro Meno as a pair is doing the job and can can do the job for the next 3-4 months in Premier League, but not beyond that. And
You
it's
might
not
be
going to happen
you
beyond that.
might be, by the way, surprised to know that Kobbie Mainoo covered the
Yeah.
most distance on the pitch out of every single player who played that game.
Hmm.
And we
Interesting.
would not expect him to do that in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the
No.
way what sort of also makes me feel a little, how did Ruben Amorim not play Kobbie instead of Ugarte to, sort of start with?
No, it's also
Uh,
so it's also the way different managers profile different players.
I mean,
For Amorim, he was a more a 10. For Carrick, he's more a
possible,
6 or
yeah,
an
yeah.
8. So उससे भी फर्क
But
पड़ता है.
when you also look at a team in hindsight, ना, when you have someone like Bruno, yes, Bruno can adapt and play a lot of positions. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि you make him play centrally and mitigate nullify his best potent. Oh, he's more potent when he plays at a number 10. He will create more chances for you, and that was one of the biggest issues that we had even last season, right? So मतलब we did not score as many goals. So from all those lenses, now to bring a better balance within this team, it was essential that Bruno plays ahead, and then you create a partnership between Casemiro and somebody else. And that somebody else for me, Kobbie is playing the role beautifully well. And what better than these big games? Matlab, if you're shining in the larger games, it's important. It's not a one-off thing. I feel ये momentum के साथ हो रहा है. It's not a fluke. And I'm sure we will see all of that a lot more in the forthcoming games.
So I wanted to close
True,
this
true.
section with a trivia for both of you. I know we discussed that Gabriel and Saliba are arguably one of the best defensive partnerships in the world right now. Would you like to take a guess as to which centre back defensive partnership of all time in the Premier League has the best matches played to clean sheet ratio?
Vidic and Rio.
70 games.
Who are the top three?
Rio and Vidic. Then comes Saliba and Gabriel. And then I think Cavallo Terry. Random guess for the third position.
How the hell can you get all three?
So
So,
Terika, there was a
yeah.
beautiful video that he posted on Instagram. So where he sort of congratulated his ex-defenders, Carvalho,
Yeah.
Ferreira, all, and who was the other person? एक और था ना, नहीं नहीं
William
left back. हाँ,
Gallas.
मतलब basically he's congratulated all his peers कि
Hmm.
hey guys, our Ferreira is the
Ferreira,
right back. I'm
Ferreira.
talking the left back.
Cole. Cole.
William
Nee,
Gallas,
Gallis was a
right?
centre back. Ashley Cole,
Mm,
yes, Ashley Cole. There's also Wayne
अरे
Bridge
एक्चुअली
था
कोल
ना,
उसके बाद
once
में है,
upon a time
बाद
Wayne
वाले
Bridge भी
सीजन में
था.
है.
Anyway, so he
जो भी है.
congratulated all of them. He's like, our record of least goals conceded still stays intact, and he opened a nice. That'll never go. So
That'll
he
never be
opened
broken.
a
That'll
bottle
never
of
be
wine
broken.
on video. So he's just trying to congratulate all. So yeah, that
So, but interestingly, the best matches played to clean sheet ratio is Terry and Carvalho. They had
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
46 clean sheets in 88 games, and this is a 52% ratio, by the way. And Vida and Ferdinand aren't far behind. They're at 50 point something with 70 clean sheets in 138 matches.
peak Jose.
Wow.
And the third
Yeah,
is
peak
Gabriel and
Joseph.
Saliba.
Yeah, yeah.
So, boys, I think we have to enter Fergie time now, our best and most exciting section of the podcast. Very quickly, what are your predictions for United against Fulham? We are playing at Old Trafford. What would be the final scoreline and who would be the scorers?
So I think it'll be a 2-1 win. Bruno and Mbumo to score.
Uh, okay, I think it's going to be 3-0. I don't know why. This time I'm going in for a clean sheet. I think it's going to be a entertaining game at Old Trafford. I think Konya will start this game maybe ahead of Dogu just to injury scare area just to sort of tackle that. He will score, Mbomo will score, and Bruno. Tushar?
Okay.
Tushar.
So I think it will be a 1-0 victory. It will be a scrappy 1-0 victory, and Bruno will score. He's in my fantasy team as well. And I'm putting Wilson, Harry Wilson, on the bench, who's a star for Fulham this season, and he's got me a lot of points. So thank you, Harry. And I think in terms of lineup changes, that would be my change as well. Cunha has to start, and given we are playing at home, we can be a little more expansive, and there's always people who could come off the bench anyway. So our upcoming run of matches, right? So our next five matches is Fulham at home, Spurs at home, West Ham away, Everton away, and Palace at home. And a lot of these teams are struggling right now, especially Spurs and Palace. Everton also slightly. Yes, Fulham are in decent form, but we are playing at Old Trafford. What would be your prediction in terms of points in from these next five matches?
See, I think the United stand has potential of getting a haircut now, uh, provided we.
He did get a trim. He got the trim.
Did he?
I think that was all over social media. Yeah.
Interesting. No, so I'm going with the assumption that he hasn't. So from that lens, agar if I have to speak, I think if we win against Fulham, right, that's the more difficult game. I will see us winning the next two after that. Uh, the tricky part is the games after. Again, because it's very difficult to sustain continuous momentum. तो मेरे उस assumption से again we're going away to Everton. They are very eccentric. तो वहां पे कुछ भी हो सकता है. I think we'll win against Fulham, Spurs, West Ham. Everton might be dicey. Crystal Palace, I think we will win again. They are not really in the best of forms altogether. So wow, that's a record from my lens. कि मतलब we might get 13 out of 15. That's where I look at it. Let's see.
So I think, yeah, I have a similar prediction. I think Everton definitely is the most difficult fixture out of the next five matches. I think Tottenham home, while Tottenham is struggling a lot, but they always seem to turn up against United, and therefore it could be a potential banana skin. So therefore, I am going for 11 points out of these next 15 matches.
So
We
my
will win against Fulham. We will win against Crystal Palace and draw the other two, which was we should win against West Ham away as well.
So my left brain tells me 11 points, but my right brain tells me 13. And maybe this is the first time all of us are sort of similarly placing ourselves. I have a sneaky feeling that one of these matches at home is going to be a
Yeah.
tough one, and it may be a draw.
Hmm.
I think we'll maybe away because we'll have a little bit more license to be attacking and be more dynamic because the home team, the onus will be on the home team, and we will have spaces to exploit. But at home, with the other teams playing a low block where we are the favorites, I would like us to find solutions to that. So 13 points would be my last prediction.
So these next five matches will tell us a lot about Carrick as a manager. This
Yeah.
would be a great test for Carrick as a potential United manager.
And you know what? I want us to start winning against teams we are supposed to win against
Yeah.
uh, after so long. Like I want to see us. I mean, I'm done seeing all these big six, big five, big seven stats. So in terms of, by the way, all the traditional big six teams in the Premier League this season, we're
Yeah.
sitting at the top and quite comfortably so.
Yeah,
Four
yeah, yeah.
wins,
We
two
have
draws,
13 points,
or something. No?
13 points, only two
Four wins.
losses, with Arsenal at second at nine, and City and Chelsea tied at third at 8 points. But again, the flip side is where I'm more concerned, to be honest. I think a good segue in terms of us moving to the next question. Given the squad we have right now, and ever since people have come back from AFCON, we're having lesser number of injuries with Dillit to come back as well as a potential starter. Which immediate gaps would you want to fill in the next transfer window? If you had 2 to 3 signings to make, which positions you would fill that in for us to level up and be title challengers left, right, and center?
I think the first one is the easiest center mid, a replacement for Casemiro, an elite replacement for Casemiro.
Not two,
Yeah, I mean,
two of
no, I
them, right?
think I think one elite and the other could be a potential elite, someone like a Euro, I feel. But the main, we need a center mid in the starting 11 to replace Casemiro, and I think Anderson or Beleba could do the trick.
Or both.
The I don't think we'll get both. I don't think we'll get both. Because if we get both, I don't. I mean, I want Mainoo to be a starter for the next, 7, 8, 9 years. And if we get two 80, 90 million players, £1 million players, we won't. I mean, I don't see that happening. So I think Anderson Mainoo is a good partnership, and then we will sign at least two midfielders. We will sign one left back, and we should probably sign one left wing as well. But I think the first position that we should close first is the center mid.
So I agree with you on the central mid. The next position I feel is a right back. So I
Oh,
no no
तेरा
think about it. It
तेरा
you
तेरा
if
थोड़ा
I think then we are
agenda.
looking at different games from the same game in different perspective. There is a lot of inconsistency right now at from the right side, like at least right back, not right wing. When Ahmad was there, it was still okay. I felt more secure some in a different way. Dalot's doing a great job. The last two games he's played with more passion. Again, that was never my complaint for him. It was the inconsistencies and the
So,
simple mistakes.
Bhuppi, by the way, I have one good news for you. That's why I wanted to interrupt. So, we are targeting a young right back out of Brazil. Like, not many people know him. He's coming from the academy, one of those classic South American players. He goes by the name Rafael, and he has a twin brother as well,
Is he
Fabio.
Fabio?
So, we are wanting to, yeah.
Nickname
We're
Fabio
wanting
होगा
to,
ना?
yeah, Fabio de Silva, if I'm not wrong.
No, but
बुप्पिया सो नहीं
no. So
पाएगा.
though midfielders are something that I think we should sign. I think we'll sign one from the Premier League, one might be from outside. We have to replace Casemiro. We have to replace Ugarte. We have to. End of the day, they are liabilities for us. Casemiro has been phenomenal uh, for his the way his season has been very good. Great way to sort of bid him goodbye. One attacker as well, if I am given a fourth option, because for us, when the AFCON happened, we were a little clueless कि मतलब और किसको खिलाए. We tried for Semenyo. We all hoped कि Semenyo आएगा because he could have played on either of the wings. But yeah, someone like him, someone who can operate at both the flanks, someone who can give us that additional option when it's needed the most. So
So wouldn't you want to give Shea Lacey a chance, extended run in the first team?
why not? I mean, it depends on what stage of the game we are at. अगर हम जैसे for example अगर against Fulham, if we are winning fairly comfortably, then yes, I would love to introduce him.
No, no, I
Just give
mean
an example.
if an extra attacker comes
But
in, that would
you
restrict
need to also
Lacey's growth, right?
see how much exposure he has to this level of football, right? It's not just those one-off games. So if I see an extended run of
He
Like Lacey playing and he performs at the elite level the best way, that yeah, why not? That's one part of it. But
But he seemed more than comfortable
too soon, no?
at
Too
this
soon.
level, both against Brighton as well
Still
as
too soon.
Burnley. I mean, the sample size, he played 15 matches, 15 minutes in one,
Ah.
20 minutes in another. I mean, but yeah,
See,
I mean, let's see how he
And
progresses.
so
But yeah, I
uh,
get
I,
your point.
I think so we definitely need a good backup keeper for one. I mean, in every position we need, I think, one solid replacement. If Maguire stays, and I hope he does, in terms of centre backs, we are good to go. But yes, one fullback is needed for sure. Ideally, somebody who can play with both feet, or maybe preferably who can play right back really well, because we can't rely on Dalo anymore. He can be a decent squad player at best. Midfielders, I remember just a few weeks back we were discussing how even Bruno may leave, even Mainoo may leave, Casemiro definitely is leaving, and even Ogate, even if he doesn't leave, nobody cares about him anymore at the moment. So, but still, I would say we would need two midfielders, but I'd also want to see what we're getting from the academy, like a Sekou Kone or Fletcher. I would not want their progress to get hampered as well. So if you're bringing in a young midfielder, I'm not sure how they will take that. I don't know. I mean, I think the jury's out on that. But definitely, in terms of the starting 12, 13, 14 pack of players, I want another striker for sure. Because any one injury, and let's say Sheshko gets injured, who the hell are we going to, I mean, say as a starting number nine? There's nobody. Everyone else is like it's like a half nine or like a makeshift number nine, and I do feel he also needs somebody to learn off of. Like a 28, 29, 30-year-old Cavani would have been ideal for him. But yeah, I want to see a striker. I don't want Sheshko to be under pressure, and I want us to have more routes to score a goal, like a somebody like a Mateta, for example, maybe.
So, just trying to total the number of
Interesting.
signings that you're predicting. I mean, or rather, hoping कि तो दो midfielder हो गए, एक fullback हो गया, three. Then there is a keeper backup, four. You want a striker also, five, and no winger because I think back when we were discussing in Jan, we were all hoping for Semenyo. So
So back then, Amorim was still,
at
I
the wheel.
mean,
So
so yeah, and right now I think in terms of wingers, we have even Mbumo can play there, Cunha can play there, Ahmad of course is there, Lacey
Patrick
can play
Dorgu is
there,
there.
yeah, Patrick Dogu,
Alan
but
Dorgu,
yeah, wing.
please.
So you see Dorgu as a left winger or left wing back in the
The
long run?
latter. The latter. Yeah, yeah.
Wing back.
So he played very well against Arsenal also from another lens ki we are. There was Shaw who gave him stability. Defensively, the difficult tackles against Saka, he was doing them, and Dogu, his work rate was phenomenal. He had
So वो winger वाला काम नहीं
हाँ
होगा
तो
ना,
मतलब
left winger
विंग
भी तो
बैक
हो
की
गया.
तरह खेला था ना you notice कि we were doubling down on Saka far more than the other side, which is also expected because Saka and Trossard में there is some difference in their quality as well. Trossard is a great player, no offense Arsenal fans, but your main outlet of attack is Saka vis-a-vis anybody else.
So I think next up, we have to pay homage to somebody who's going to leave at the end of the season, and he just gave an announcement. And this is not me being happy that he is leaving, or maybe it is. But yeah, Casemiro will leave United at the end of the season. The announcement was very gracious. The video, I mean, was really well made, and no, I'm not drunk at all. If at all, it seems like I'm just about to praise him. But yeah, what was your best goal, best memory, best performance in terms of Casemiro's stint at United, and what would you rate him out of 10 overall?
So I think I've thought about this a lot the past few days, and I think he's definitely not a failure in terms of signing. I think he has been a decent purchase, given the rates at which players are being purchased these days. We managed to get, I mean, quite a lot of good matches out of him. I think for me the best, uh, the best match would be the most memorable goal would be the Carling Cup final header that he scored for us.
And your rating?
For him, I think 7.5 out of 10.
So he's one of those tricky players कि मतलब you do not know where to position him कि will he go out as a legend, will he not go out as a legend. वो एक मतलब
Legend तो नहीं होगा, but a
हाँ
decent
मतलब
purchase.
because he came with a big price tag ना from that lens I was just trying to say that, but he's given us a lot of moments मतलब I can't put my finger on single moment. Carabao was a great moment. Europa League semi-final was another. So when we needed goals, he was there. When we needed some big leader to step up, he was there. He did not just take a big paycheck and just sit back. Apne end se he's worked hard. This season he lost a lot of weight. So from all those lenses, what you expect from a leader, he's done everything, right?
प्रोफेशनल फुटबॉलर ने वेट लूज कर लिया भाई, क्या बढ़िया, एकदम
Arey,
अनबिलीवेबल बात.
no, but no, it's
But
not.
नहीं नहीं
Arey,
तू
he could have easily taken.
It was such a big
No,
asset.
no. I think his
तो
experience
तेरे
was
की
something
salary.
which was immense, and the number of headed goals that he scored for us, that is something I'm definitely gonna miss. Yeah, I think I'll also give him a 7.5 at best as a signing for us. His time, I think, it's the right time. He's also getting out. Unlike what
yeah
Carragher would have said,
I think it's the right time.
leave the
Yeah,
football before football
yeah.
leaves you. I think he stayed at the right time. He stayed and gave us some more memories.
And he's a
Yeah,
starter for
he was
Brazil.
captain. He's the captain.
Yeah, yeah.
So my favorite Casemiro goal was his goal against Burnley in the EFL Cup, the long ranger, where
Ooh,
the keeper just didn't even
yeah.
move at all. It was like
Ah,
upwinds
Open,
from
yeah,
so
yeah.
far away. And Chelsea away, that equalizer header also came close. My favorite memory with him was the EFL Cup final. He scored and he was the man of the match. He bossed that game. So I was very, very surprised, by the way, to know that he had 51 appearances in the 22-23 season, and he scored 14 goals and assists combined in 51 matches.
wow,
And in
nice.
23-24, he had 32 appearances, and still he scored 8 goals and assists. Out of his total 83 appearances, we've had 29 clean sheets when he has played the
Again,
game.
Tushar will give him a 5 out of 10.
And yeah, 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10 is my final rating for him. So yeah, I think this is going to be our last question for the day. Lionsgate just introduced that they're going to do a Crown style series of Man United. I was initially a little confused that is it going to be a docu-series or is it going to be a fictional
Fictional
representation?
retelling of
Yeah,
the
of
story of United.
yeah, similar to
I think
Crown.
multiple
So
eras, no?
just wanted to catch you off guard, by the way. I would say some popular names, and you have to say who do you think, in terms of Bollywood, should play that role. Okay, not international, but Bollywood, because we want to keep it close to our home. Today is the Republic Day after all, and we're recording this. So, what would be a better way to do this? So, Matt Busby, let's call him the stern, the headmaster of the club.
I am remembering Dhandhanadhan Goal movie right now, and with that, I'm going to say Boman
Wow,
Irani because he was there in that, no? From that.
What
Matt
a shitty
Busby.
choice,
और
man.
कौन है?
Perman Irani,
ओल्ड
भाई
पीपल मेरे
क्या.
को थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा.
भाई अमिताभ बच्चन यार. मैट
अरे
बसबी.
give Amitabh Bachchan Sir Alex Ferguson right now because उस लेंस से मैं सोच रहा
मतलब हाँ
हूँ. हाँ,
एग्जैक्टली मेरे तो दिमाग में सबसे पहले वही आया था यार, द हेड ऑफ द
I
फैमिली
was
सॉर्ट ऑफ.
waiting for you to ask me Sir Alex Ferguson, तो मैं तब बोलता. But for Sir Matt Busby, I think I would have said Boman Irani.
You know who would have been, अगर ये बॉलीवुड वाले लोग हटा दें, who would be perfect for the role of Matt Busby? Brian Cox from Succession and who plays the role of the patriarch. He
Okay,
would be
अभी
perfect for
बॉलीवुड
the role of
की
Matt
तरफ
Busby.
वापस आ जा.
I think, again, Amitabh या Nasruddin Shah for Matt Busby.
इंटरेस्टिंग. बॉबी चार्ल्टन. सो बाय द वे नसरुद्दीन वाज माय पिक फॉर बॉबी चार्ल्टन.
Bobby Charlton, Bobby Charlton, Bobby Charlton, Bobby Charlton. मैट बसबी के लिए पंकज त्रिपाठी
I
भी
have
हो
someone for
सकता है
Bobby
वैसे.
Charlton.
So that's a good option, by the way. Yeah, that's a good option.
Bobby Charlton. I think Bobby Charlton is the greatest United player. I think I would go for Shah Rukh Khan for Bobby Charlton.
Okay. Uh,
And Duncan Edwards. So I'll make it a little easier. So Duncan Edwards, when I think of him, I of course think of how he played the game, but also vanity.
Duncan Edwards and Vanity.
Yeah, so
Which Duncan Edwards are you talking
that's
about?
my personal opinion. Go back, see his videos and photos, and then tell me later. 2 बजे
Duncan
call करियो
Edwards and
मुझे.
you're a
Vanity.
smart looking
Yes,
guy.
yeah.
क्या बोल रहे?
Which
चलो
is why
ठीक
my
है.
pick was Fawad.
फवाद बॉलीवुड है. फिर तो ब्लॉक कराएगा हमारा चैनल.
Has he never featured in any
वो नहीं
Bollywood
आएगा ना.
movie ever?
हाँ, but Fawad is a good pick Fawad is a good pick.
I had Akshay Khanna for Bobby Charlton simply because of the hairline.
That's a good, yeah, अच्छा
मुझे
option,
natural fitment
अच्छा
लगेगा,
selection है.
especially after his role in Durandar.
George Best के लिए रणवीर सिंह, flamboyant, crazy,
No, there's
maverick.
somebody else. Ranbir
So,
Kapoor.
Ranveer Singh for Eric Cantona. Why?
Eric Cantona, you need that
Yeah, but
gravitas for Eric Cantona. Ajay
he
Devgn for
could
Eric
pull that
Cantona.
role off very well. I think.
Yeah. So, मेरा by best was Shahid Kapoor.
For whom?
For
Duncan Edwards.
Shahid Kapoor for?
George Best.
Shahid Kapoor for George Best.
Like somebody who's a little on the borderline, very no fucks given, flamboyant. And now we come to David Beckham. I think this should be the easiest choice out of all. Who should play David Beckham if this was
Ranbir Kapoor.
a Bollywood series?
Ranbir Kapoor.
Hrithik Roshan was my pick,
I
by
was
the
going
way.
for Ranveer for George Best, and I think Hrithik would be a great option for Bex. But there's also Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hrithik would be a great Cristiano Ronaldo. Hrithik
So,
would be a great
भाई
Cristiano
ऋतिक
Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Ranbir Kapoor.
नहीं यार.
हाँ
Cristiano Ronaldo,
ऋतिक नहीं यार.
रूनी.
Tiger Shroff?
रूनी कौन होगा फिर?
रूनी पर नवाजुद्दीन सिद्दीकी.
Rooney.
So I picked Nawaz is because like rags to riches story, humble background.
Guys, you're
Nawaz
forgetting
or
John
Rooney?
Yeah,
Abraham.
yeah. My pick.
धन्नादन गोल
यार
याद करो.
फिजिक भी तो मैच करनी चाहिए.
I'd say
तो मतलब
the non-funny answer was Siddhant Chaturvedi for Rooney.
that's a good answer.
Not
Good
somebody who's
answer.
out there, not somebody who's mainstream, and
Answer अच्छा है.
I think the last two which are left are Giggs and Scholes.
Schools के लिए
Ayushman Khurrana.
जिन वो गिग्स के लिए हो सकता है. अच्छा
दिखता भी
ऑप्शन
सिमिलर है.
Rajkumar Rao.
You know कैंटना के लिए एक अच्छा ऑप्शन है जयदीप अलावत. He's a good
जयदीप
choice.
अलावत बढ़िया लगता है यार मेरे को. क्या एक्टर है यार जयदीप अलावत.
So कैंटना के लिए अच्छा ऑप्शन है वो. गिग्स के लिए मनोज वाजपेयी भी अच्छा ऑप्शन है. Now that I think of it.
He would be
Schools.
very good in a managerial role as well, Manoj.
Schools. School. I can't think of anyone for schools.
I think we can move on to the absolute last bit. So, Bruno has reached 200 goal contributions in the Premier League, and as you all may know, he's one of my most favorite players of all time. Uh, would you want to take a guess as who is the fastest to reach 200 Premier League goal contributions this century in terms of midfielders?
Lampard. नहीं. De Bruyne.
I was going to say De Bruyne, also because of his Premier League assist record, which Bruno is halfway there. So I was just going to sort of, I'm just hoping कि
You know,
यार some way Bruno win.
And who's the second? Who's the second
second fastest to 200 goal contributions.
in terms of midfielders this century?
Is it not Lampard also? Like, कहीं तो
200 तो
होना चाहिए
यार.
Lampard. Top 3.
Lampard 200 goals तो यार ज्यादा लोगों ने किए भी नहीं होंगे.
Then again, Lampard also played in few other
Bruno ही
places.
होगा.
Lampard
Bruno
hasn't played for that long in this century, na?
So wait, Bruno has 200 goal contributions only in Premier League.
Yeah,
Wow. How is that possible? That can't be true. He has.
it is true.
That can't be true.
Bruno is the second fastest player, second fastest midfielder to reach 200 goal contributions in the Premier League. He has done that.
भाई, okay, उसने कितने गोल मारे प्रीमियर लीग में अभी तक?
ये गूगल क्यों करवा रहा है मेरे से अभी भाई? कैसी बात है?
Wait,
This requires. Yeah, but he's right about one thing. I am actually checking that out. 200 goals and assists for Man United. He's right.
Not only in Premier League.
And I got the answer. Second is Bruno. Wow.
But
Yes.
not Premier League. Not Premier League. Only
Premier League only.
can't be possible.
It is Premier
He's
League
right.
only.
And third is
Right.
Lampard. Fifth
Okay, GPT
Fifth
से
is
पूछ
not
how
surprising. Fourth
Okay.
is surprising for me when I see the name.
Which how many assists has Bruno had? He joined United in 2020, right? So you're telling me that in 6 years he has had 20 goals and goals plus assist contribution. 200, sorry, in 6 years, which means close to 30 goals contribution
Eh,
every year, in only in Premier League.
No,
That is
no.
not true.
It it is true, and there is another stats here.
It is true.
I'll ask this question. I think Tushar might have an answer. I'm guessing we are referring the same source. So let me anyway ask this question. Who are the fastest players to hit the milestone of 200 goals and 200 goal contributions, irrespective whether they're midfielder or not? कौन हो सकता है 200 goals?
I think Henry, Aguero, Salah, Kane, Rooney,
All fairly right answers.
CR7.
Henry is number one. Salah is second.
So by the way, and this is from the official Premier League website, Bruno has 67 goals and 61 assists in 215 matches in Premier League.
No,
How can this be wrong then?
Obviously it is wrong. उसने उन्होंने overall contribution बोला होगा, not only Premier League. And overall भी सही नहीं है. So फालतू क्वेश्चंस पूछता रहता है जब देखो.
नहीं स्काई स्पोर्ट्स ने
नहीं,
भाई
I'm
दो
correct.
अलग अलग टाइम पे डाली.
I can say it is right.
अरे
It
भाई.
might be all competitions included in the Premier League era, possibly, but it clearly says PL. So there is some discrepancy in some of the media. And we are also referring the same media, me and Tushar. I have the names in front of me right now.
Wait. Let's see how many goals has he scored and how many assists has he given. Goals plus assists overall could be true. So Bruno in 12 matches has scored 103 goals, and he very well could have given 97 assists,
Is
which
the correct
brings
answer.
his tally to
103
200.
and
But
97.
that's across, that's across the tournaments.
No,
No?
that's a cross tournament for a Premier League club. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be true. Yeah, but
I
200
know
goals plus
it's
assists
not
contribution
restricted
in
to
313
guys.
matches
It's
is
not
amazing.
restricted to Premier League, because in the stats that I see,
Mm.
there's also if you look at the top, so the top 5 players are all from the Premier League. 6th is from Serie A, and the player's name will surprise you. It is not who you're thinking, Sid, for sure. No,
Lukaku.
it's a midfielder from Napoli, ex-midfielder from Napoli.
समझ गया वो
No,
Insignia या one of the
good guess, but not him, because obviously Hamsik.
Hamsik.
And then there is a player from Barcelona. No,
Messi.
midfielder. I'm talking about the midfielder.
जो
No.
Rakitic.
At Barca, he didn't play much. He was at Sevilla also for a very long time. It is
Barca
it,
midfield
so you
scoring
were
these
looking
many
at a
goals.
Lampard, Gerrard. You were talking about the likes of them. Go back to that generation. Go back to that beautiful team of Pep Guardiola.
Deco.
Go back to the team
Deco.
of Pep Guardiola where you had 2 stars.
तो बता
दो
ही देना
star.
भाई.
Pedro
बता
तो
ही
नहीं
दे.
है ना?
It is Xavi.
Iniesta, Xavi. Xavi के 200 गोल contributions थे.
But if the number of games were quite high,
So basically, to
531.
correct ourselves, the fastest to 200 goal contributions for a Premier League club this century is De Bruyne, who reached his feet in 302 matches, and Bruno Fernandes comes in as a
312.
close
313
second in
matches.
300.
Which is also an amazing
Yeah.
fact. Amazing feat, yeah. I shudder to think how we'll ever replace Bruno.
So, by the way, another more damning and last final stat: chances created in the Premier League since Bruno Fernandes made his debut. Bruno is at 600. The second in line, De Bruyne, is at 432. Imagine the gap.
I have often wondered how do they calculate these chances? मतलब 600 chances, वो chance को कैसे quantify कर? किसको chance बोलते हैं वो?
Whatever it is equal for everyone, right?
नहीं अरे
Maybe
from my
the
knowledge वो
potent
कैसे
of
define
a
होते हैं chance?
goal or the movement, अगर मान ले बाकी के players are in certain positions, overall match से अगर तू देखेगा, when you pause the screen, Bruno एक pass खेला to a particular player. From there, what could that attack have been? How many options were surrounded? So if every pass that he looks at, he also tries to play progressive football. Unlike sideways, वो करता नहीं है ज़्यादा. So
Yeah, yeah,
all of
that's
that
true.
also will count for something.
Got it.
So, folks, I think we had to wrap this up with some positive stats. थोड़ा mess up हो गया बीच में. Please don't mind that. But yeah, please continue to like, share, comment, subscribe. You've given us a lot of love on Instagram channel. We're getting 3.5K average views, even though our follower base is just 100 odd strong. I mean, kudos to all of you. We are making this into a regular habit. We are taking this more seriously. So see you soon next week, hopefully after a Fulham victory. And yeah, see, bye bye.